Our lesson today is a continuation of what we've been doing in our last lectures, the properties of operations. We made mention of the commutative property, the associative property, and today in our lesson, we are looking at the distributive property. How does the distributive property work? Let's look at it with this example. Let's say I give you 5, 6 minus what? 2 to express this for me. How will you go about it? Normally, what you would have done is to have what? 5 times what is in the bracket, which is what? 6 minus 2, which is what? 4. And you multiply 5 times 4 to be equal to what? 20. This is what we normally do. But let's look at it this way as well. I have 5 times 6 minus what? 2 into brackets. What can I do? You realize that I can multiply this times that and this times this as well. So that I have what? So you realize that I have 5 times 6 here minus what? 5 times what? 2. Let's look at it. 5 times 6 is what? 30. And 5 times 2 is what? 10, which gives us what? 20. So you realize that the result here is the same as what? This. So this is what we call what? The distributive what? Property. So this is the distributive property and this as well, because you realize that we multiply this times that minus this times this as well. So it is distributive over what? Subtraction. So you realize that multiplication. So here you can say multiplication is distributive. Distributive over subtraction. Let's look at this as well. Let's say I had addition. Let's say I had 5 into brackets was 6 plus what? 2. What would you have done? You would have had 5 into brackets. 6 plus 2 is what? 8. And this gives us what? 40. But let's say we multiply, we do the distributive times that. You realize that what do I have? I have what? 5 times what? 6 plus what? 5 times what? 2. 5 times 6 is what? 30 plus what? 10, which gives us what? 40. So what do we have? You realize that our results here are what? The same. And this is what? Multiplication. So you realize that multiplication is distributive over what? Addition. What does it mean literally or graphically or geometrically if I have this? So you realize that if I have this and I asked you to multiply, what we had was we had 6 plus 2 plus, so we have this and we are adding what? 5 of that. So it's more like I had 6 plus 2, 6 plus 2, 6 plus 2, and what? 6 plus what? 2. So that if I'm adding, you realize that I have this to add and this as well to also what? Add. So then I have this part as well to add. So if you consider, you realize that I have what? How many 6 do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 5 of what? The 6. And I have what? 5 of what? The 2. So that if I add them, I'm equally getting what? 40. So if I had 5, 6 plus 2, graphically, let's say I have what? 6. So 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus 2 here, 1, 2. And I have that, so I have 5 of that. So 2, 4, 5. Then I have what? Plus, 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 plus. Then I have 6 of this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then I have 3. Okay, so what do you have? We have 6 plus 2 of that. So let's look at it. So just the same thing as this. So you realize that I have this. I'm adding this to. So I have this. How many 6 of that do I have? I have 5 times what? 6 here plus, and this has what? This has what? 2. I have 2, so I have 5 times what? 2 of that. So you realize that if you add up, what do you get? You get what? 40. 40. This is why the distributive property actually works, because sometimes you realize that multiplications on the go become a little complicated to solve, but the distributive property makes it what? Easier to solve. So that initially, if I had 5 times 8, you realize that you may have to be counting how many of the 8s. I have 5 of the 8s, you add up. But this made it what? Easier. So I had 30, quickly add 10, then it is what? 40. So this is what? The distributive what? Property. If you have not subscribed to my channel yet, kindly don't forget to subscribe, like and share the video among your networks. Thank you.